Hey there everybody, today's video is going to be on the pros and the cons of actually living in Lehi, Utah, or Silicon Slopes as they call it. Make sure you hang out till the end of this video when I cover something about Lehi that not many people know about. You'll learn the good things about living in Lehi and most importantly the bad things about living in Lehi, Utah, so stay tuned. Welcome back or welcome to the Living in Salt Lake City channel. I'm Greg Spackman, your local real estate agent here. And if this is the first time to the channel, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. I've been getting a ton of people that are reaching out to me about making that move here to Lehi or other cities in surrounding Salt Lake City. I absolutely love it. So if that's you, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and let's get talking about moving you here to Utah. Con number one of living in Lehi, Utah is the cost of housing. So the median house price in Lehi is right around $550,000. That's going to get you a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, about 2,400 square feet. Homes currently are staying on the market somewhere around 26 days. So it's floating up and down from that month to month. But Lehi has remained a very, very hot market where homes are selling in the first weekend that they are on the market if they are priced right and they are updated and everything else. And demand here is really, really strong in Lehi because of everything else I'm going to cover in this video. But anywhere from 80 to 100 homes sell a month in Lehi. So let's take a look at what some of the current homes are for sale in Lehi right now. I'm going to jump over to my website, thespackmangroup.com. If you want to go ahead and join me there, start looking at homes, just shoot me a text and say, hey Greg, I'm looking from YouTube on your website right now. All right, so here we are on my website. There are 151 homes currently for sale in Lehi, and you're going to see a bunch of different prices here, but anywhere, here's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, pretty large home, 4,600 square foot, $825. Brand new home, 1.1, 1 million, 1 million. Another new home, 959, 949. Here's a 637 home. You can see the square footage just dropped. That's right around where the median price is. Here's a 3.2 condo for $369. So you can definitely get a condo under $400 in Lehi. Here's a 3.3 home for $575. Here's a 4.3, a little bit smaller, 2,100 square foot, $540. Here's a 3.2 for $520. 700, 1,624, 500. So you can just see there's a number of different prices. Just for fun, let's look at what the highest price home is and then the lowest. So the highest priced home right now, you got a 5-bedroom, 8-bath luxury home, 9,500 square feet, and that's right at 5.2 million. And then let's see what the lowest that they have is, 329. So this home right here, which is going to be a condo for $329, is 1,200 square foot for $329. So you can see that spread anywhere from like a low 300 all the way to pretty much whatever you want to spend, you're going to be able to find in Lehi. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of kind of what some of the prices are currently in Lehi and what some of the homes are for sale. But that's definitely something that we will talk about once you reach out to me. Pro number one of living in Lehi is all the shops and the restaurants that are in Lehi. Lehi has an amazing amount of shops and restaurants, and they even have outlets. So let's show you where the outlets are. All right, so here's the map. You can see the outlets are right here, outlets at Traverse. As we scroll in, there are a bunch of outlets here. I'll pop over here to the directory map. So you can see here's the outlets that are there. Columbia Sportswear, Under Armour. Under Armour has been where we've been shopping lately. Got the kids' shoes there and some other workout attire I've gotten there. Great place to shop. The Nike store. There's a Polo Ralph Lauren, a Puma store, a Vans outlet, Gap outlet, Banana Republic, H&M, even a Coach store. And then there's a bunch of other little shops that you're going to find in here. They have a Johnny Rockets. So if you want something to eat, you can definitely go there as well. And then some of the other shopping just directly across the street is this shopping center here where they have a Marshall's and a Harmon's grocery store. They have a bunch of other places in here, little shops, but a bunch of places to eat as well. And then down the street from where all that shops are, you have a Smith's grocery store right down here into this little shopping center that's going to have a few little places, an O'Reilly's and Costa Vida, a bakery place, a Grease Monkey for your oil changes. Just a bunch of little shops are going to be there. Food-wise, they have a really good sushi place there that I've been to twice now called Tsunami. So I highly recommend, if you're a sushi fan like I am, that you check that one out. They have an R&R barbecue. So if you're into barbecue, they have a really good baked potato that you can go loaded with whatever your meat choice is. But that's really, really good. And for whatever reason, the Lehi location has better food than the other two that we've eaten at. They have a new one that opened in Riverton, and it's been not all that great compared to the Lehi one. So we will do the drive down to Lehi to eat. They have an original pancake house there. They have a Houston, Texas hot chicken place. So if you like hot chicken, I just ate there the other day. It's pretty good. So I would, try that place out if you want hot chicken. And then there's a ton of other chain places to eat. Heck, they even have a McDonald's. Con number 2 of living in Lehi is going to be your traffic. So there's one major road that you're going to be taking, and it does have a commuter lane, which helps things a lot. But you're going to have traffic because of all the shopping, all the restaurants, everything that you can do in Lehi. So people that aren't from Lehi are going to be coming to Lehi. Just know that traffic in and around the busy times of day is not all that great in Lehi. Pro number 2 of living in Lehi is the jobs. So some of the biggest companies are in Lehi, and they are like Vivint Solar is there, Young Living, LGCY Power is there. Adobe has this really cool building, and they're there. Ancestry.com, Arctic Wolf, Bamboo HR, Dev Mountain, Texas Instruments has this gigantic place, and there's a ton more places for work there. It's, called Silicon Slopes for something. It's a big tech sector. You're definitely going to be able to get a job if you want to work in the tech sector in Lehi. Con number 3, which you're going to find in most cities near Lehi, and that's that the walkability factor is really poor. So you're going to be able to walk around your neighborhood and do some amazing hikes. So you're not going to be able to walk to that cool coffee shop or the local grocery store or some cool new restaurant. That's not what you're going to get living in Lehi. You're going to be driving your car to get around in Lehi, but I don't think that means that you shouldn't live in Lehi because of that. It just means if you want that sort of walkability factor, then Lehi isn't the right city. Pro number 3 is going to be the location of Lehi. So I'm going to switch over to the map and then show you where it is in relation to Provo and Salt Lake City. This is Lehi here, highlighted in red. It's got some other areas, like for whatever reason, Google doesn't include this area right here, but that's part of Lehi as well. And you can see that Salt Lake City is up here to the north, and then Provo is down to the south. You're looking at about 30 minutes to get to Salt Lake City, about 35 minutes to get to the Salt Lake City airport. You're definitely closer to Provo because it's about 20 minutes to get to Provo, to the south. You can get to 6 world-class ski resorts within an hour drive of Lehi. How awesome is that? You have Park City, Deer Valley, Snowbird, Alta, Solitude, and Brighton. They're all within an hour drive. The closest ski resort is Snowbird, and that's about 45 minutes. However, during the wintertime, it's not going to be 45 minutes because you're going to have to deal with traffic. And so it could be possible that Park City is closer to get to. You're just going to have to check from what the maps show that day if you know. But you're going to figure out which is your favorite ski resort. If I was picking one of those 6 to go to all the time, I would get a pass for Brighton. That is my favorite ski resort. I skied there back in college. Absolutely loved it. And we skied Park City, Alta, Snowbird, Brighton, and Solitude, all over while we were up in the Salt Lake City area for skiing. And Brighton was by far my favorite. It just had less people on it. The slopes were awesome, and the snow was really, really good. Not that the snow isn't good everywhere. Park City was bigger, so definitely had more runs and stuff at Park City for you to do. Then you have up the canyon here, you can get to Deer Creek Reservoir, and that's about 35 minutes away. And that's one of my favorite places for you to go paddleboarding or kayaking, canoeing, boating, fishing, everything that you want to do on a reservoir. And you can even swim because the water is really nice and it's not super, super cold. Water temperature is typically a decent temperature there. And then when it's 90 degrees outside, it feels even better. So you have that. You can, down the Provo River, you can float tube. And we did that as well. We float tube down that for my daughter's birthday one year. And that was awesome. Takes you about 2.5, 3 hours to float tube down. Great time. I'd highly recommend that you go do that. It's just something cool to go do. Con number 4 of living in Lehi would be all the open space is filling up. So Lehi used to have all this available land and everything, but they are just building everything on it. What was once open space is now, townhomes, condos, high-rise buildings. The population has grown to roughly 86,000 people that live in Lehi right now, and it's just going to keep growing until they finally build out all the available land. But that's con number 4 is just, it used to be a ton of open space, ton of open land, and they've just developed it. Why? Because Lehi is a great place to live. Pro number 4 is Thanksgiving Point. So if you haven't heard of that, it's like an indoor-outdoor farm, garden, museum complex that's located on the north side of Lehi, and like the north end of Lehi. It's got 5 main attractions that are there, which are the Ashton Gardens, the Butterfly Biosphere, Farm Country, Museum of Ancient Life, and the Museum of Natural Curiosity. So you got these super cool things to go see. They have some other cool businesses there, like the Brick Canvas Studio, Holdman Studios, Glass Art Institute, and then they have a Megaplex movie theater to go to as well. And then they have the Thanksgiving Point golf course that's there. That's awesome. So a cool note, if you're old enough to remember a software called WordPerfect, well, the people that created the WordPerfect software, they founded Thanksgiving Point once they sold the software company off. And then here are some really cool events. They have different ones that go on throughout the whole year, but here are some of them: a Labor Day Luau, Garden of Quilts, Junior Discovery Days, Storytelling Festival, Scarecrow 5K, and a Scarecrow Festival. And they run tons of events at Thanksgiving Point all the time, different things based on what time of year and what seems to be going on. They keep it really, really nice, so there's always something to do there. They had a dinosaur thing over the summer this year that you could go to as well. Pro number 5 of living in Lehi is going to be amazing views of Utah Lake and of the valley itself. So I highly recommend, if it's at all possible, for you to buy a home where you're able to enjoy the view of Utah Lake. However, it does get more pricey to get the view, so maybe you get that while you're on a walk or at one of the local parks. But the view is awesome of Utah Lake. Here's what it kind of looks like. So here's a view that you can kind of see of it. So here's Utah Lake right here, and it looks even better in person. So if you have the availability, that's the kind of view that you would be able to get in Lehi, and it's awesome. The higher up in the mountains you go, the better the view is. Pro number 6 of living in Lehi is going to be the rankings, and these are going to be according to niche.com and then according to some of the clients that have helped. So according to niche.com, they give it an A- overall ranking. I would give it an A, though. Maybe we can cover why. Maybe we can figure out why they gave it an A-, but it's the number 4 best place to live in Utah County. Might even be number 1 in my book in Utah County. I'm not sure why they're giving it 4. B+ for public schools, B for housing, A- good for families, A for jobs. Jobs is an A+, so that should raise it to an A just there. C- cost of living. It's not really much more expensive to live in Lehi than it is some of the other areas. You can definitely spend less in some of the other cities, but if you're going to spend in the 6 to 1 million range, then Lehi is for sure the right place. A for outdoor activities, B for crime and safety, B for nightlife, B- diversity, B+ for weather, A+ health and fitness, and B+ for commute. Other rankings for Lehi: best suburb for young professional in Utah, number 13, best suburb to live in Utah, number 14, and best suburb to buy a house, number 15 in Utah. And then you can see on the screen there the crime stuff as well. So those are the rankings according to niche.com. I would agree with most of them. However, I think just having the jobs that are there and being able to, if you're going to work in the tech sector and being able to be 5 minutes from your job, it's definitely worth Lehi for sure. Some other things that you're going to need to know about living in Lehi is American Fork Canyon is right there. So they have a cave that you can go hike to and explore. There's picnic areas, campgrounds. There's Tibble Fork Reservoir, which is a small reservoir, but you can swim there, fish, kayak, a canoe on it. You just can't take a normal boat in it, but you'd see when you get there that it's not that big. It's more like almost like a small lake or pond, more than a reservoir, but it's super cool. And we've been there fishing and caught fish out of there. There's more campgrounds there. There's a super cool place to go off-roading or side-by-siding in there right by Tibble Fork. That's where you split off to go to it. And then a lot of camping is up in that area. Then I told you that I would share something that not a lot of people know about, and that's right at the point of the mountain where Lehi and Draper kind of meet. There's this place where you can parasail and hang glide at, and it's one of the best places to do that anywhere in the US, but it's awesome, and you get to watch people do that all the time off of the mountain since it's always windy there, and it's super cool to see. And just not a lot of people know that you could do that there. Whether you're a single person or a couple or you have a family, Lehi is a great place for you. Please reach out to me and let's talk more about getting you here to Lehi. And until next time, be rad.